Dr. Mabel Ping-Hua Lee was born on October 7, 1897, in Guangzhou, China. Her father was a Baptist minister who worked in the American Baptist Home Mission Society, so she was raised by her mother and grandfather in China. Before she moved to the U.S. in 1905, she attended a local missionary school in China where she learned English. When she was 9 years old, she was awarded the Academic Boxer Indemnity Scholarship, which provided a path for her to relocate and attend school in America. Therefore, in 1905, Dr. Lee and her mother were reunited with her father, and the family moved to Chinatown in New York City. Dr. Lee attended Erasmus Hall Academy in Brooklyn, New York, where she became involved in activism and women's rights. On May 4, 1912, when Dr. Lee was just 16 years old, she helped to lead a suffrage parade on horseback in New York City. The parade was attended by almost 10,000 people. Already making a name for herself, the New York Tribune and New York Times wrote articles about her activism even prior to her participation in the suffrage parade. During this time, Dr. Lee had just been accepted to Barnard College, which is a women's college, at Columbia University. Dr. Lee majored in history and philosophy at Barnard College and became a member of the Chinese Students Alliance. When she was a member of that organization, she also wrote feminist essays for the Chinese Students Monthly, an influential magazine for Chinese students. This was the first magazine published by Chinese students in the United States, and it was the official publication of the Chinese Students Alliance. In 1914, Dr. Lee wrote an essay, The Meaning of Women's Suffrage, which stressed the importance of allowing women to vote. In 1915, she became the English secretary of the Chinese Students Alliance. After Dr. Lee received her bachelor's degree, she earned her master's degree in educational administration from Columbia Teachers College in 1917. Also in 1917, Dr. Lee entered the economics doctoral program at Columbia University. She wrote her thesis, The Economic History of China, with special reference to agriculture, in 1921, and graduated that same year with a PhD in economics. Not only did she graduate with high grades, she was the first Chinese female student to graduate from Columbia University with that degree. After Dr. Lee received her PhD, she traveled to Europe in 1923 to research post-war economics. In 1924, after her father passed away, instead of pursuing her career in economics, she decided to continue with her father's career in the Baptist Church as chairman of the Morningside Mission. She also opened the Chinese Christian Center in order to provide the Chinese community with English classes, a kindergarten, vocational training, and a health clinic. Although women in New York were granted the right to vote in 1917 and the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution legally guaranteed voting rights to American women in 1920, Dr. Lee was not allowed to vote due to the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act. It was not until the 1943 repeal of the Chinese Exclusion Act that Dr. Lee would be eligible to vote. Unfortunately, there is no confirmation that she ever became a U.S. citizen or voted in any U.S. elections. But thanks to her devotion as a women's suffragist, she helped to make voting rights for women in the U.S. become a reality. To learn more about Dr. Mabel Ping-Hua Lee, please visit the sites below. In addition, educational historical paper doll kits of notable historical figures are available at lvkpaperdolls.etsy.com. Thank you.